Hello and welcome to ILM Media. My name is Jed Thomas, and today I'm joined by Rod Robinson from the National Physical Laboratory to give you a brief rundown of what's happening at ILM's Emissions Monitoring Conference and Exhibition, CEM, and why you should join us in sunny Barcelona from the 20th to the 22nd of September this year. But first, let me introduce Rod, the Chairman of the Scientific Committee for CEM 2023. Currently a principal research scientist at the National Physical Laboratory, Rod has a long history in standardization, has developed many of Europe's standard methods, has chaired CEN's Air Quality Technical Committee TC264, and has served as convener for multiple working groups, including those responsible for data handling, instrument certification, and EN 14181 standards. Let's get things started with an easy one. What is CEM?
Hi, Jed. Firstly, let me just say what a great pleasure it is to be chairing CEM again, and for us to be back with an in-person meeting. The last CEM was virtual. We had a really good attendance, but just the experience of meeting in person, people being able to have those chats and visit the exhibition is really great. We're in Barcelona. It's going to be fantastic there. What is CEM? CEM is this really great blend of an exhibition and a really high quality conference. I think this year it's the biggest CEM ever. We've got the most exhibitors, and we've expanded the conference. We've got parallel sessions for almost all of the sessions. The other great thing about CEM is it's really focused on emissions and emissions into the air. So when you go there, the whole of the conference and the exhibition is going to be relevant. All of the people that you need to talk to are there. So it's a really great experience and a really great opportunity to interact with the leaders, with your customers, with all of the researchers and regulators. So really special event.
Yes, it's worth mentioning that it's our largest CEM ever, the most exhibitors we ever had. So it's sort of once in a lifetime opportunity to meet everybody. And you mentioned the conference program, the 2 parallel rooms that will be running throughout all 3 days of the conference. It's a real jam-packed program, talks from thought leaders, workshops, regulators, and industry veterans. Can you just give me a little bit of a sense of the big issues in emissions monitoring that CEM will be tackling this year?
Yeah, Jed, and I would really also like to thank the excellent scientific committee. We've been reviewing a fantastic range of abstracts that have come in, and that's one of the reasons why we've expanded the conference program, is we've just had so many really good talks coming in. So what we really try to do, and I think we've succeeded in this year's CEM, is to address some of the future challenges in monitoring. So we're starting off with a session which is looking at the drivers, at the changes that are coming in the regulatory space, and we've got talks from around the globe on that, including a talk on the revision of the Industrial Emissions Directive, which is occurring in Europe, and that's going to be driving a lot of changes in monitoring of emissions. And then we've got sessions that are addressing some of the really high-profile challenges. For example, the difficulties in monitoring lower and lower concentrations. We're doing a really good job in addressing emissions, but that means we've got the challenge of trying to measure ever lower concentrations. So we've got sessions looking at the improvements needed and the research that's being done on monitoring lower concentrations. And then we've got forward-looking sessions looking at some of the new challenges, the challenges that have come from trying to address net zero. So looking at the emissions of CO2 and associated emissions from carbon capture and some of the other technologies that will help us meet net zero. And we've got sessions that are looking at the newer techniques, the newer instrumentation that is coming onto the market, sessions addressing that perennial problem of mercury emissions. And we're looking at fence line monitoring. So the challenges of measuring fugitive emissions from industrial sites. So a real breadth of issues that we're addressing, and some really exciting papers coming up.
Brilliant. Now, I know you'll say that every single talk is your favourite, but have you got any particularly standout speakers or talks that you're looking forward to?
So Jed, yeah, I mean, it really wouldn't be fair for me to pick out any specific talk, but there are such a range of talks from researchers who are at the cutting edge of research into emissions monitoring, from industry and their experiences in actually making measurements in the real world, the regulators who are dealing with the challenge of new regulation and regulating new pollutants. We're looking at talks that are looking at some of the novel pollutants that are coming, things like PFAS, so polyfluorinated substances. So we really, I think there's such a range of talks, and those talks, there's going to be talks for everyone. So to pick out any individual talk, really, I think there'll be talks that will be very relevant and very interesting to all of the attendees.
And speaking of attendees, what sort of people do you think would benefit most from coming to CEM 2023?
I think that's one of the really great things about CEM. We bring together everybody who's involved in emissions monitoring. So both the regulators, the manufacturers and suppliers, industry, and the researchers. So it's that melting pot of being able to talk to all of your customers, or to talk to the researchers and pick their brains on the latest, hottest topics. So it really is that mix. So this conference is for everyone who has an interest in emissions monitoring, and it really gives you that chance to interact, to have those discussions, and again, as I said, face to face again in the lovely Barcelona. So I think really fantastic opportunity. Come out, enjoy the conference, enjoy all the exhibitors and the exhibition, and then certainly enjoy the chance to have some social interaction with your colleagues.
And if you're interested in attending CEM 2023, just follow the link in the description to get your conference pass today. Thanks for watching ILM Media. For more talks and interviews with experts in air and water quality, environmental monitoring, lab analysis, the petrochemical and energy industries, just click subscribe.